Hello everyone, my name is Jess Barratt. I am the founder of Franklin Scholars, a social enterprise that exists to help young people navigate the challenges of school and of life. And we do this by helping schools to set up really high impact peer support programs. So that means training young people to help each other through peer mentoring, peer coaching and peer tutoring. I'm also part of the Escape School faculty. I'm currently leading the latest Startup Accelerator, helping 34 budding entrepreneurs test and build their ideas and get their businesses off the ground. So I'm here on International Women's Day to talk to you about starting a business and how to just do it. So it's very easy to have lots of ideas and it's very easy to get bogged down in lots of ideas and sometimes difficult to get started. So I'm just going to give you my top tips, the things that worked for me and the things that have worked for lots of other people too. I think the main messages here are going to be to try not to overthink things, to start really small and to talk to people, lots of people all the time. So I'll go into a bit more detail about those points. So firstly, not overthinking things, just start talking to people. I personally never set out to start a business. But I had an idea and I started talking to people about it and it kind of just snowballed from there. It started to resonate with people and I learned a lot from the conversations I was having that helped me build a better service. And because it was resonating with people, it just kind of started to take off naturally without me having really planned it. The other thing about talking to people is that you just never know how people might be able to help you or who else they might be able to introduce you to. So just talk to people, friends, colleagues, strangers, your wider networks, putting yourself out there at events and conferences and things. You'll be surprised at how much support will start coming your way, how much you can learn from those conversations, how many introductions people will be willing to make, and you can really make a lot of progress in a short space of time by doing that. And my second point about talking to people is to try to have lots and lots of conversations with the people who have the problem that you are trying to solve. So you don't need to have a perfect solution or a perfect pitch to present to them. You just need to gather insights from them. How does the problem that you're trying to solve manifest itself for them in their daily lives? What does that look like? What are their past or current behaviors and habits? What can you learn from them? What might they have already tried to do to solve that problem? And why haven't these other existing solutions worked for them? This is the kind of start of customer development, which is something as you start a business and run a business, you will do ongoing forever. But it's really, really super important to do in the early days so that you can really learn more about the problem that you're trying to solve and build a better solution for those people. So another point about not overthinking things would be to just start doing or building your product or service quickly and cheaply. And don't expect the first version to be perfect. Build something, anything, and put it in front of your potential customers so that you can learn what's working for them and what's not. Reid Hoffman, the founder of LinkedIn, famously says, if you're not embarrassed by the first version of your product, you've probably launched too late. So this is where in the startup world, we talk about MVPs, minimal viable products. You might also call it a prototype or a pilot, whatever you call it. The importance is to just do it and to see how your potential customers interact with it, how they react and respond to it. If they don't like it or if it's not useful to them, great. You've actually learned something really valuable and you can go back to the drawing board without having wasted much time or money. Fourthly, I think I'm on my fourth point, is try not to create something that works for everyone. Start really small, both in terms of what you're creating and who you're creating it for, who you're trying to serve. Pick a super niche target market, a customer segment who definitely has the problem you're trying to solve, so that it's easier to design a solution that really works for them. And it's also easier to find them, to talk to them, to gather insights in this early stage, and eventually to market to them. Trying to resonate with everyone is the surest way of resonating with no one. Even the biggest brands and companies now, like Google, PayPal, they all started with the most random niche customer segments. They started there and then they built from there. So start small, start niche. You can build from there once you have a better idea of what you're doing. My fifth point, which is probably the hardest one to really take on board, is a recommendation not to fall too deeply in love with your idea, but do fall in love with the problem that you're trying to solve. Because it may be that your first idea isn't your best one, and if you're not too attached to it, then you're freeing yourself up to come up with better ideas in the future. And if you're obsessed with the problem you're trying to solve, and if it is really aligned to your values and to what you want to achieve in life, then that will be the thing that drives you forward and keeps you going through all the ups and downs of entrepreneurship. It will mean that you're open-minded to changing your idea or pivoting slightly. It will mean that you're open to loads of new ideas that could potentially come out in the future. It will mean you're more flexible, but it will also mean that you're driven. And if you really love the problem, that will be the thing, the purpose that is really kind of inside of you, driving you forward through what can be quite a difficult journey of entrepreneurship. That, I think, is my final point. And those are my main bits of advice. So I'm wishing everyone a very happy International Women's Day. Thank you, Escape the City, for asking me to do that. And I will see you all very soon. Bye.